Welcome in to another edition of The Walkthrough. Your hosts, Austin Watley and Brant King, are here to break down all the action. Each week, we bring you exclusive coach and player interviews, in-depth coverage, and expert analysis you want.
Edition of the walkthrough. Austin Watley here along with Brant King, and it is episode 8, week 7 of Louisiana high school football season. Jena Giants are now 5-1 on the season after a huge win against Marshfield, 62-46, and been a good season so far, Brant.
Yeah, it's rolling on along, and Giants get that good first win, district win of the year, and great performance by the Jena Giants. Marshfield's a real deal. I mean, we knew coming into the ball game that it was going to be a tough game for the Giants, and Marshfield proved it there Friday night. Lavallee was very effective in the run game against the Giants. Armani Benjamin, wide receiver, had some big plays, and Jaden Price as well. So I think Marshfield's a team that they can make a deep run in the playoffs this year in Division III.
I was impressed with how many receivers they had. It seemed like they just kept running guys out there, and whoever he threw to could catch it, could run a route, get open, and because all you hear about is Benjamin, but they had a lot of guys that could make some plays out there.
Yeah, and let's go through some stats from Friday night. First half, Daniel Hatcher had a big 28-yard run, and second quarter, Cedric Wilson, 58-yard touchdown run. Then right there before halftime, Deuce McPherson finds Adrian Sharp on the 4-yard touchdown pass as time expired there in the first half. And third quarter has some big plays, but Cedric Wilson overall, 21 carries, 211 yards rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns. Daniel Hatcher, 20 carries, 163 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Deuce McPherson was 5 of 10, 47 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Adrian Cooper had 4 receptions, 43 yards, and of course Adrian Sharp that 1 reception for the touchdown.
Did you do defensive stats?
Defensive stats.
Yeah.
Carter Nichols had 9 tackles in the game. Cash Richardson 8 tackles. Jesse Love had 7.
I was also impressed with Devin Lavallee. He's gotten better. He's improved each year, and I felt like his running ability had gotten better.
His vision was really good.
Yeah.
Play it. Everything's kind of slowing down for him. I mean, of course, he's been starting since he was an 8th grader, so he's a veteran guy now and has a lot of experience behind him, and really produced.
I definitely think, like you said, Marshfield is the real deal. They're going to be a team I think can win a couple playoff games in Division III non-select, and you may see them again later on in the season, later on in the playoffs.
Yeah, Marshfield's at number 6 in the power ratings right now. That was their first loss of the season to the Giants Friday night. Marshfield's got some tough game, maybe a tough game coming up. Still got to play Bunkie. Still got to play Bunkie just like us. So that'll be a good game I think between them and Bunkie. And of course we got to play Bunkie week 8 coming up. So yeah, I think Marshfield's this is a great opportunity. Coach Harper, you can see that, he's got things going in the right direction there at Marshfield. You see the talent on the field, and they're going to be good for the next couple of years.
I definitely agree. He's doing a good job down there. And there were some times they set up some really good plays off of other things that I thought was really good coaching. I think it was maybe to start the second half where they lined up with both running backs in the backfield. They hadn't been doing that. They had the tight end and the running back. But at that time, they had both, and it kind of confused our defense on what to do. And they ran the one guy out of the backfield on the wheel route. Well, I think we were on it, or they had a penalty or something. But they tried running again, and we were all over it. But that just was, I thought, a little wrinkle into what they had been doing. But their running backs were a little undersized, but they ran hard. And I thought they're up front, they were a little bit undersized, but on offense, they had some holes open up, did really well blocking.
Yeah, like I say, I thought, their tailbacks and Simon had 9 carries, 37 yards, and the Holmes kid had 21 rushing yards. I feel like, if they had some bigger kids back there running toting the rock, that they'd be an even more effective team than what they are.
And I couldn't really tell how many guys were going both ways on offense and defense, but I don't know, on defense, they were cutting, but it almost was just kind of like, we really want to try to keep the ball out of Jena's hands, because I think they kind of knew from the start it was going to be tough to stop Jena that night. And it was more of, hey, maybe we'll get an onside kick. Hopefully Jena turns the ball over or something. But
And
Gina just looked unstoppable on offense.
That's something we did a good job of too.
Yeah.
Was the onside kick. They onside kicked every time. So the return guys, great, great focus and fielding the football and make sure we didn't fumble that onside kick, because a couple times it took some pretty good bounces, but we was able to get on top of it.
Yeah, they made it look easy every time. You could tell we had practiced that. And we also did a good job of taking care of the football as well, not turning it over. We want to now welcome in Gina Giants head coach Jay.
Yes, sir. How are y'all?
Good, Coach. How are you?
Doing well.
How are you on this homecoming week?
Man, I love every moment.
It's your most favorite week of the year, isn't it?
It is. I put it right up there with washing laundry and painting the field.
Can't wait to light that bonfire tomorrow.
That's right. No, it's been a good week, and homecoming is very unique in Gina. We have people that come in and work here from other places, and I tell you, Gina does a really, really good job, and always has a good turnout of people coming back in to visit. So, with all the distractions there is, it's still a very unique and fun thing to see here.
Yeah, it's a fun week at all the schools. They let them dress up, and all the kids enjoy it, and we all really enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's get into it. It was another shootout, kind of like week one against Mangum, but you guys come out on top, 62-46. Just kind of talk about the win over Marksville.
Well, it was great to get the win. It was exciting to compete the way that we did, and I'm sure it was a lot of fun for the fans to watch. High scoring game like that, but found a way to win, and that's what's important. They're a very good football team, very talented quarterback. Like y'all said, they had several receivers that could play ball, and obviously the one kid that played in his first year of high school football ever, he is really special. And, it seemed like a lot of times we were right in his hip pocket and just didn't make the play. It wasn't like he was running away from us. We're so close so many times to get him off the field in 3rd and long and fourth down plays. We could have had him off the field, and he just made plays. That catch down there in the back of the end zone was unreal, and I think everybody in the stadium, but the referee thought it was out of bounds, and you go back and watch it, and it was actually an outstanding catch. Kid got his foot down, and so moments like that, it just felt like at some point we're going to get that stop. We're going to get him off the field in his 3rd and long. We're going to stop him on that 4th down play, and finally got that one stop. Wish it would have come earlier, but it's a great learning experience playing against a team like that because they're very talented, offensively, and you're definitely going to see teams like that in the playoffs. I sure don't want to see them again, but, there's always that chance.
You did. You made a great point at halftime and then at the end of the game about the defense being one play away. You'd get them in 3rd and long, 4th and long, and we just couldn't get that one stop. They'd hit a big play, but it seems like the defense, they're really close to figuring it out. They just got to figure out how to make that one play.
Yeah, it's just letting loose and playing ball. They're right there to make the play, and maybe thinking too much, or whatever it is. If they just, they're like you said, they're right there, and we've improved tremendously. And when you look at the scoreboard, it may not look at it, but when you look at, film, compare it to week one or the Jamboree, we've improved tremendously because a lot of those plays in week one and Jamboree early on, we were nowhere near where we needed to be. But right now, we're right there. We just got to let loose and play ball because we got some talented players over there. Nichols is doing a great job. The Brown twins are, right there with those receivers and just got to finish those plays. Brian Evans has done a great job for us as a sophomore this year. And, when everybody's on the same page and do what they're supposed to do and not try to do somebody else's job, we can make those plays. And I think I think we're going to continue to get better.
Seen a couple of new guys on the defensive line. Just talk a little bit about what it means having them guys back and that added depth.
Well, depth is huge. And when they're all kind of close talent-wise, being able to rotate guys in and keep them fresh, especially in a game like that, it's such a big deal when because I kept telling the kids in the by mid-second quarter all the way through the rest of the games, like, it's going to be just like Mangum. We're going to have to wear them out and finish them off in late 3rd and 4th quarter. And so when you can roll those guys in there and have fresh players, it's huge for our defense.
Talk about homecoming Friday, kind of the routine for that day, because I know by school that's out half a day, but you keep the guys up there at the field house, right?
Yeah, we keep the varsity guys. You know, we have for home games. We don't keep every kid up there. It's just hard to keep up with 70 kids and a handful of coaches. But we'll go to the homecoming pep rally, and then when it's over with, you know, they'll all gather around, take pictures of their families and stuff like that. And then you're looking at probably, I guess, close to noon up until 4 o'clock before we really get into normal game time. And kids, they'll bring their Xboxes and stuff up there to kind of keep them entertained and play, you know, Madden or whatever it is the kids play now. And we'll feed them lunch as soon as they get down there. And then I tell them that, you know, a little after 3:30, we get into normal game day mode. All that stuff goes away. We get on the bus, go to the brisket house, and at that point on, it's time to lock in and get ready to play a football game.
Got Vidalia coming to town this Friday. Tell us a little bit about Vidalia.
Well, you know, they've always got some skill guys that can give you problems. They have a talented quarterback. They have a couple talented receivers. They've had a rough year, but they keep fighting, and you know, they have guys that can give us trouble. You know, they have guys when we're in phase with them, we're going to have to make a play on the ball. But you know, it's one of those deals where if we take care of business and don't let homecoming overshadow the fact that we have an opportunity to go 6-1, we should be able to take care of business. But you know, you just never know. Like I said, they always got some talented guys that can give you issues, guys that can really run.
Real quick, kind of give us an injury update. I know you said last week y'all were expecting Hayden DeVille to be back this week.
Didn't work out. He'll be back Monday. He went yesterday and got his checkup, follow-up. The doctor really wanted him to go ahead and finish out that full 2 or 3 weeks since his injection, but looked great. You know, his pain level's down, and I think he'll be ready to rock and roll full speed Monday, which is good news. And we wish it was this week. Definitely wanted him back, but it's best to be safe, you know. And you know, it's a long season. Hopefully, a lot more football to play. So, get him back Monday and be ready to roll. Keelan's getting better and better every day. Not limping near as much as he did a week ago. Other than that, I'm trying to think. We didn't have anything new Friday, so that's good.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and good luck Friday night.
All right, thank y'all.
Different things.
A lot of stuff happening.
Still kind enough to take time out of his week to join us on Wednesday nights. So really appreciate him. We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we'll have our player interviews for this week. Jesse Love and Sam Cook. You listen to the walkthrough on 1.7 KJNO.
Hours in search for athletic supremacy. Justice Oil has been a long supporter of high school athletes in LaSalle Parish, as well as the Tigers of LSU. Take the time to show your appreciation by attending sporting events to root on your teams. Student athletes appreciate the time you take to attend their events. Wishing you the best in the future, on and off the field, from Justice Oil Company.
When you need an expert, you call one, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, or your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. There's one in every parish to help you protect what's important to you and your family, because protecting the people of Louisiana is what's important to us. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. Visit lafarmbureau.com to find a local agent and ask for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote. That's lafarmbureau.com. Make contact with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent today.
Hi, I'm Cliff Smith with CLB, the Community Bank. With 20 years of banking experience, I have seen many changes, but one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to help customers with all their financial needs. CLB, the Community Bank, is here to help you, whether it's to open an account, online banking setup, credit card application, home mortgage, consumer, or commercial loan. If you're looking for personal service with real care, come by and see us at CLB, the Community Bank, 2349 North 1st Street, Gina, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Looking for a place to connect and grow? Join us at Eastview Baptist Church, where everyone is welcome. Tune in here to listen to worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30, or come join us in person for Sunday school at 9:45 and worship at 10:45. Eastview, where we seek the kingdom first.
Cedric Wilson with another long touchdown run, had a big night against Marksville. 211 yards, 4 touchdowns, was co-player of the week with Daniel Hatcher. Both of them had big games in the win over Marksville.
On the season, Cedric Wilson, 889 yards, and Daniel Hatcher, 766 total yards so far.
We will now welcome in our 2 players, seniors Jesse Love and Sam Cook. Welcome in, guys. We'll get to it. Jesse, you seem to be a family of football players. Your older brother Colton played. Now your younger brother Riker is playing at the junior high for us, and you played as well. Is that just something that, like, y'all just love football and all want to play, or is it something that was maybe there's some people older in your family that played and kind of inspired y'all to play, or how'd that all come about?
Colton kind of just started playing football first, and my dad didn't really play any football or anything. It just kind of started off with Colton. We started when we were little.
So y'all are starting the tradition, is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Like when y'all's kids come through, they'll say, "Yeah, my uncles played, my dad played, so we're all going to play junior giant football."
Yes, sir.
Sam, we did not have you at the junior high, so I'll be honest, I don't know much about you. But tell us a little bit about yourself, and kind of talk about what made you want to come out and play football when you got to high school.
Well, what made me want to go to play football in high school? I was a sophomore, and Coach Doran told me that I should play football. And I didn't really have that much confidence in myself to really do that, like, all of a sudden. But that push kind of just helped me, like, want to do that. And ever since I joined, it's, like, one of the best decisions in my life because it's just awesome. It's really fun.
Did he see you just, like, walk around the school, or did you have PE with him or something? What made him notice you?
I had a health class, and I guess he just saw me and was like, "You should play football."
Bigger guy. Might could help us out.
I guess so.
Well, Jesse, talk about earning the starting spot at linebacker this year.
It's definitely been it ain't been easy. You know, we got a bunch of new people, not very experienced at it. Definitely been a learning year. We've been rotating out, and still just getting used to it. And
Can you see things starting to get better each and every week? The reads and the game kind of slowing down for you.
yes, sir. I've definitely got a lot more experience now. I just think Marksville had a very complicated offense, lots of different formations and stuff. But I think we've gotten a lot better with communication and everything.
At middle backer, some people say that's kind of the quarterback of defense. What all are you having to communicate whenever Marksville gets lined up? What are you having to communicate to the defense to get everybody ready?
Well, first you gotta get the strength call in, get that everything set up, and then we gotta get our front call in based on their formation and make sure everybody's lined up right and all that.
Do you do the coverage, or does somebody in the secondary do the coverage?
Secondary does coverage.
Okay. Sam, you talked about just joining the football team being one of the best decisions you've ever made. Talk about homecoming week and what it means for you. I mean, I'm sure homecoming was probably fun getting to watch it, but when you became part of the team, it probably made it even better, right?
Absolutely. It was I kept on, like, looking at it, but when you're actually in it, it's like a whole different experience. It's
The
really
pep
cool.
rally, the parades,
Yeah.
everything.
It's awesome. It's like a front row seat to it.
Yeah, yeah. Jesse, talk about what homecoming means to you.
I definitely think it means a lot to our fans, you know, and all our supporters. But we still gotta stay focused on the game going and winning district, and just stay focused.
Plans after graduation? What you guys want to do?
Probably gonna go to Rob Brady,
What you gonna do,
welding.
Awesome.
Sam?
I'm gonna just go to college in Texas. Probably want to become a detective or something like that.
Nice. Hey. What part of Texas?
Somewhere near San Antonio or San
Marcos?
Marcos.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that how
Like
you say it?
Texas
I'm not sure.
State. Texas State or something
Yeah,
like
Texas
that.
State University. Yeah, that's right.
Why do you want to go down there?
So my dad's in the military, and I get some, like, there's like this bill or something, and I get like free college. So if I go there, I don't have to pay.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
That's
Okay.
like very beneficial.
Got Vidalia coming to town this week for the homecoming game. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen on film, Jesse.
Definitely more of a passing team. They got a lot of athletes. They can make plays. They've always had athletes, you know. So we're just gonna go out there and play ball.
Are they in tight, or they spread out a little bit, or what do they do there?
More spread formations, really. Not much running the ball.
Is it similar to what Marksville was doing, where the quarterback's just going to run around and find somebody open?
Pretty much. I would say the quarterback is definitely the best player.
For Vidalia? Yeah.
Yes,
Sam, what's been your favorite memory playing football in high school?
Whenever we win a big game, what was it? I think it was Loreville last year.
Yeah.
And when we won that, I felt like I was on top of the world. I saw everyone was so happy. It was awesome.
Yeah. Jesse, what's been your favorite memory?
Definitely Tioga 2 weeks ago when Carter popped the ball out and I picked it up.
Man, I thought you were going to be close to getting a touchdown there, Jesse.
I wanted it so bad. I was close.
Yeah, is that what you were looking at as soon as you got the ball? You was looking at the end zone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Enough room.
Yeah, and it had a couple of guys in front of you. Yeah, when that happened, I was like, oh, there it is. And some guys kind of got in your way. But, yeah, that was a big moment for you there. Big play. Well, anything else you want to you want to give us some tips on detective work or anything, or you save that for after the show?
Yeah, maybe after the show.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys, and we're proud of all y'all done, and really excited about what the rest of the season holds. Y'all are doing great. Keep up the good work, and we're excited to watch how this season goes, guys. Y'all are doing great.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Oh yeah, keep up the good work, guys.
Our player interviews this week: Jesse Love and Sam Cook. We'll take a break right here. Listen to the walkthrough on 1.7 KJNM.
Justice Oil Company salutes the young men and women who put in long hours in search for athletic supremacy. Justice Oil has been a long supporter of high school athletes in LaSalle Parish, as well as the Tigers of LSU. Take the time to show your appreciation by attending sporting events to root on your teams. Student athletes appreciate the time you take to attend their events. Wishing you the best in the future, on and off the field, from Justice Oil Company.
Louisiana is strong. It's hard work and determination. It's never giving up. It's being there for family, friends, and neighbors because you gave them your word. It's celebrating life's good times and standing tall when times are tough. You call this great state home, and so do we. We're headquartered here with a presence in every parish to better serve you. We're Louisiana's insurance company, Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Looking for a bank that truly understands the communities they serve? CLB, the community bank, has you covered. They offer a wide range of services from top-tier interest rates on checking accounts and CDs to the latest in online, digital, and mobile banking. What makes CLB the community bank the go-to choice for all your banking needs is the convenience of managing finances from anywhere, anytime. Visit their website or one of 7 branches today. CLB, the community bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Looking for a place to connect and grow? Join us at Eastview Baptist Church, where everyone is welcome. Tune in here to listen to worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30, or come join us in person for Sunday school at 9:45 and worship at 10:45. Eastview, where we seek the kingdom first.
Pearson under center, going to hand off to Hatcher. Yep, little counter play, and there goes Hatcher. 15, 10. Hurdles the defender, 5, touchdown, Daniel Hatcher.
Welcome back into the walk. Hatcher. Seemed like him and Cedric had some big runs, enough to fill up a whole season already this year.
Definitely.
But they've had some great plays, and you could hear Zach Barker in on that call as well. Zach, in his first year with us, covering home games, he's done a good job. I've really enjoyed his insight, being a player who is fresh out of the program, but you remember the games he played in.
That's right.
He knows the plays. You heard him kind of saying the play as it was happening there. But I really feel like he's added to the broadcast, and he's done a great job this year.
Oh, yeah. We're fortunate to have him, and definitely glad that he agreed to do that, come on board and join us for home games. But, because I listen to you guys in my ear, kind of as my spotters, somewhat, help out during the game. And, he's doing a terrific job. And like I say, it's great to we've always wanted that young guy to come in and join the broadcast. That's been a part of the program under Coach Jay Roark. And experienced everything and kind of provide that in-depth coverage. Each and every Friday night for them home games.
Yeah, he has added exactly what we've wanted, and he's done a great job. Austin Watley here along with Brant King. Also, our wonderful intern producer, Miss Zoe Williams, in the house. She's the one doing all the graphics, the ads. Really appreciate her and all her hard work. She's really added a lot to the show by being here every Wednesday night doing that, and really appreciate her as well. So let's get into Vidalia at Gina. It is homecoming, but it's a game to be played that night as well. Vidalia head coach Josh West. I'm not sure. I know he was there last year. I think it may be his third year there. So. But 19th matchup between the two teams. Gina has 13 wins. Vidalia has 5 wins. I'm almost certain.
Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of one of them games.
You were your senior year, but the next year when I was a junior, which would be this year's class, 20th year. That's very sad to say. 20th year. We played Vidalia for homecoming, and we beat them in homecoming.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago, we played Vidalia for homecoming, and we beat them at homecoming. I do remember that.
But that year, my senior year, man, that was a good team.
They went to the semifinals that year.
Hawkins, I believe, was their quarterback. Maybe
I think so. Coach D. Faircloth was the head coach.
Man,
one of his best teams he ever had over there.
Had the tall socks, man. He was a great coach over there at Vidalia for a number of years.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they lost in the semifinals that year. Like, they were really good. And we had a lead in that game, and they came back to win. It was at Vidalia that year.
Yeah, that was a tough loss. That year, just you going into a game, you knew you should have beat Vidalia. The offense we had that year, but just couldn't get enough stops on defense.
Key players, quarterback Elmari Lewis. I feel like last year that was their main player, but this year, like K104, they do their player of the week. But they list all the candidates, and I've seen him on that list a couple of times. I know last week, even in the loss against Buckeye, he had a big game against Buckeye, had a lot of passing. I think over 200 passing yards, but also had an interception and ran some yards on that. And he will run as well. He's kind of like Devin Lavallee. He's going to run around, hope somebody gets open, and if somebody gets open, like Coach Roark said, they've always got skill guys over there. So if they can connect on some passes, they can give you some trouble. But Michael Randall Jr. is a big receiver for them. I'm pretty sure he was one of their starters in basketball as well, but he's a bigger kid, big receiver, big target. And then Jaden Gaines is a receiver as well. Last year, they went 2-8. They did not make the playoffs. Gina defeated them 60-0 over there.
Yeah, was that a game that the second half, I think we played 8-minute quarters?
I think so, because we led 52-0 at halftime. Cedric Wilson had 76 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Daniel Hatcher had 21 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. So, yeah, that was a game that Gina just kind of dominated in that one.
And Vidalia, of course, took the loss last week to Buckeye 54-14.
We want to welcome in our special guest, Mr. David Robinson. David, how you doing?
Hey, guys, how we doing tonight? So glad to be on. Thank you guys for having me on. I didn't know if we need to hit the break at 7:30 or not, but hey, here we are.
What's up, cuz?
Hey, cousin, how you doing there, man? I'll see you around Thanksgiving unless somebody's getting married or passing away.
That's right. That's right.
Glad to be right there with it. But look, man, I appreciate you guys, and you definitely called in about the right thing. I want to let you know, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm calling in from the Future Mock Studios here at my house. My wife has been kind enough to allow me to build a studio here in the house, and so getting the old Roadcaster out and got you guys hooked up through the headphones and gonna get this thing rolling. I covered high school football and radio. I worked at K104. I left there and started my own show, and really excited about a chance to get back in it. Not this year. It's a work in progress, but I definitely miss it. But I get to go cover it every Friday night for Ken Trahan and the original, and just looking forward to bringing that thing back in house, and might even be in talks with you guys about trying to get some content out there. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, David. And, of course, you've always been gracious every time I've reached out. You've always been gracious enough to join us. But let's get it started here. Let's talk a little bit about District 25A and the war each and every Friday night between them teams.
Man, I guess the best way to put it, Brant, and guys, before the SEC did away with divisions, this would be the SEC West of divisions. You can, I think you can compare this, and it has been compared around the state to the Catholic League, depending on which district is the toughest. And I'll just start touching on last week's games, if that's okay with you guys.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, the one we had, of course, with two local teams with Ruston and Ouachita, a block punt return for a touchdown. The difference in that game, Ruston wins 21-14. Of course, a guy from your neck of the woods right there got his coaching start there at Gina High School, Benji Lewis, head coach at Ouachita. You know, and it just comes down sometimes to small things. Like I said, Ruston wins that contest 21-14. I think that block punt return for a touchdown was not the biggest difference in the game, but you got to think when only a 7-point loss that it has to be. But, you know, Ouachita brings a ton of experience back. Guys, a ton of these guys that playing for Benji have started since they were sophomores. None bigger than Waddell Clark. You look at his size, his stature, 5'8", 150. But I don't want to say Turpin 2.0, but he's that dangerous. Already has a TCU offer, and a lot of people don't like to kick it to him or punt it to him, and he just makes some dynamic plays. I saw him play a lot last week at defensive back, so Benji's trying to get Waddell Clark on the field as much as you can. Of course, you can't go far in this district on MJ Dade, running back there, and Montreal Connor Jr., the quarterback. Both of those guys, seniors, started at Ouachita now. This is their second year starting, maybe third year. I think it's their third year starting, actually. And it all starts up front with the big boys. You know how it is, where it's won and lost in the trenches. You know, anytime you've got a University of Texas commit anywhere in the state of Louisiana, you got to look around and say why, you know, and what's going on. But, you know, the way NIL is going, and I'm speaking of Dylan Berryman, 6'2", 330. And when I tell you that he'll line up at the nose, and Brent, I don't know if you played center like I did back in the day, but if I'd have looked across and seen a kid 6'2", 330, I'd have looked at both guards on either side of him and said, hey, guys, I'm going to need a little help.
Yeah,
and
combo block.
So oh, yeah, no doubt. It's going to take all three of us, and he's still wrecking havoc. So, but look, guys, that game boiled down to people point to the block punt, but let me tell you, Ruston, it starts with one name, and people can talk about it all they want to, and I want to make sure I get it correct. But Ahmad Hudson, he's the number one player in the country in his class. He's 6'7", 240 pounds, and anytime Ruston needed the ball to be moved to first down, Brent, they just threw it up to him like a lob pass. I don't know what you do. I don't know how you stop it. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but we don't have 6'4", 6'5" safeties running around. You know, it does start with him. Do I think Ruston is as talented as they've been in the past? I don't. But when you've got a guy like Ahmad Hudson that is a definite game breaker, you know, 3 years, Sam Hartwell, quarterback, does a great job, but it all starts with Hudson. And if he can go, you know, the game they lost last week or the week before over in Texas, Hudson didn't play with a high ankle sprain, and I think they were just holding him out and getting him ready for district, and that's what you saw in that one. It did 21-14. I'll speak of the Neville Tigers because Brant has a cousin there. Brant, every time I watch Parker play, I don't know if he's related to us or not, but I'm dang proud of him.
Oh, yeah, super proud.
Quarterback at Neville High School, only a junior. And, of course, they come down to the Sun Line. And I talked to Lamar Gafford today. You guys know Lamar. You know, Pineville thought a lot of themselves. And I don't mean that as a knock, but, you know, you look at their schedule, who they played and who they beat, and I just don't think it, you know, was up to par with what District 258 brings in. And you saw the difference when Neville, and that, guys, I'll be honest with you, that might have been Neville's best game of the year, even though they were able to defeat Evangel Calvary in the first 2 weeks of the season. I thought they were a completed team last week in all three phases, they've been all year.
They've had some injury. Had some injury issues.
They have, and they're well in the offensive line. And if you can get Parker Robinson, junior quarterback there at Neville, his second year starting, 6'3", 190, has a heck of an arm. And, of course, Elon Young is his favorite target, 6'4", 210. They got him listed as a tight end in the program, but that's a lie because he'll line up wide and you know, they'll get him where they'll put four on the other side and just try to get him a one-on-one matchup. And him and Parker made a good connection, and that's what you saw last week. Of course, they got those humongous safeties back there that everybody in the country's looking after. Juju Burns, Jalen Reed, they've been there playing forever. You know, they got a freshman that played over 70 snaps last week at wide receiver, And that's what you're seeing when it gets to this time of the year, guys, is that, you got to put that freshman tag behind you because you can't lean on that anymore. They got a couple guys that are transferred in, a couple kids that came in as freshmen that play quarterback as well, but spend a little time at wide receiver. So Neville's going to be fine. They got that Pineville out of the way. Of course, they have the 100th meeting between Neville and Ruston tomorrow night in Beer Ruppel. I'll be there. Friday night, but it's going to be an amazing atmosphere. 100th time these two teams have met, and I think it'll be electric, and it'll be one to see. And I'm hoping Neville can continue that. But and then one up here, of course, that I don't know if anybody expected, and I got to get your guys. I talked to Lamar Gafferday. I mentioned that earlier. Does Ash play different on the road than they play at home?
I think last year it definitely benefited them having those big games at home. It seemed like when they made their big run, every big game they had was at home. So I guess you could say, but I mean, they had the win last week. They just gave it up.
Well, yeah, and I don't want to take it. Look, Thomas Bachman's a friend of mine. I see him every December. He's down in the Dome with me. He's playing or coaching or just down there, enjoying the getaway and the coaches' conventions and stuff. But I don't want to say this is the old West Monroe. And we're not talking about that run they made in 98 and 99 and 2000, 2001. But those stands and that team have not had a bigger win as you had 2 weeks ago against Catholic Baton Rouge in that stadium. And that's what I got asked on the state show down in New Orleans is when's the last time West Monroe won a game like this at home? And guys, I couldn't tell them. I have no idea. They had a homecoming with Scotlandville. They won that one 40-0. And Alexander, you're completely right. Ash had that game won last week, if not for and I don't know if you guys remember Transmission Davis. Everybody used to call him Transmission because the way he ran like he was putting that transmission in fifth gear. But his son and wide receiver took one 78 yards last week on a screen with under 2 minutes left, the ensuing kickoff. Ash fumbles and gives it to them right there in West Monroe on their 15-yard line. I think they get that nasty taste out of their mouth talking about Ash, pronouns pal, this week as they host Pineville. But that just sets up Ouachita traveling to West Monroe Friday night. And guys, West Monroe, DeMichael Dizer, everybody lifted their eyebrows around here. I'll be completely honest. I'm going to be transparent. When that hire was made at West Monroe, because you're talking about a guy that had never been a coordinator.
That's right.
Much less a head coach. He was a strength guy. But you know as well as I do, if you've been around those strength programs, those guys have a way of making guys fall in and lead, and that's what he's done. I mean, guys, you're talking about a senior class at West Monroe right now that I think is somewhere between 42 and 45 kids. And they've been here a long time. A lot of those guys have played a lot of football. And around here, the thought is that they have the guy in charge now to be able to lead the Rebels in the right way. And you saw that the last 3 weeks, 2 of the 3 with Catholic Baton Rouge, huge win at home. Ash start the district, a huge win at home. But it doesn't get any easier for the Lions as they dropped that one last week on the road at Ruston. They turn around and make the short trip to West Monroe. Ruston making the trip over to Beer Ruppel, and, of course, Pineville traveling to Ash. And I want to say this for your listeners that are tuning in. I don't pull for a lot of teams in the CINLA, but I got deep roots at Rondagina, Louisiana, and that's one of the teams I root for on Friday night.
Real quick, I want to go back to Ouachita. We're big Ouachita fans because of Coach Lewis. He was defensive coordinator there when I was in school. And is this the year that he gets it done, though, like makes the big run? Because that seems to be the thing against Coach Lewis at Ouachita is he's had good teams, but they just hadn't been able to get it done in the playoffs. Is this the year that he gets it done?
And I'm glad you asked that, and I'll be happy to answer. The talk around here is, guys, don't be surprised. Of course, with Ash playing in the Select Division I, if you look up at non-Select Division I in the quarterfinals, which is Turkey Week, and you see at least 3 or 4, maybe even 4 teams playing from District 2-5A, that's how good this district is. I would not be surprised at all. And Coach Lewis said it last week on his show that, they weren't just going to show up and play, that they thought it was time. And his team felt, and his coaching staff felt, and that administration felt like there's no more excuses, okay? We've already been young for 2 years. You're playing, everybody knows you're playing in the toughest district in the state. And he not only wanted to be a player and surprise some people, he thought he had a team good enough to go out and maybe even win the thing, as crazy as it sounds. And you saw that last week. And I'll tell you what, in years past, you talk about Benji being here. I don't know if teams that he's had, I know this is only his third year here, but teams in the past that have gone through some of the things and struggles they've gone through this year, as a team, if they would have bounced back and kept their head up and kept playing, and it wouldn't have affected them like they has it this year. I mean, that team has grown. They hang out with each other. Everybody talks about that. They're close, but you talking about 20 guys or so that have been playing a lot of 5A football for 3 years. So he thinks this is a year. I don't think they let that 21-14 matchup. Guys, let me tell you something. They all got to play one another at some point or other in this district, and it's almost like a round robin. I'm not going to be surprised at any score that comes. Well, let me take that back. If Pineville runs off and beats everybody in this district after what I saw last week, that's the only way I'd be surprised. But no, it's going to be. I mean, guys, you're looking. It's going to be around. We see Ruston beat Ouachita, and you can see Ruston turn around and lose to West Monroe, who beat Ouachita, lost to West. I mean, you just don't know from week to week, and and you got to be. You guys mentioned the great thing. You got to be healthy, and right now everybody's dealing with some nicks and bruises and things like that, and you try to. It's so different now. You try to work on those during the week and get your guys back to where they can go, and you just let them watch film and. Because there's not a lot you can come into week 7 that people haven't seen so far. But I'm not going to be surprised if we have a round robin. I don't see any team going through this district unbeaten. I'll put it to you that way. But it'll be interesting to see because West Monroe's rolling right now. But with that said, Ouachita has enough athletes to go in there and win that ball game, I think, no doubt in my mind. And West Monroe wants to run it. And like we mentioned, Dylan Berryman sitting in the middle, 6'3", 330. I don't think you run it right at him. So it's going to be interesting to see. But and Neville's got a huge test on there, But like I said, what I feel confident about Neville, they played their best games in all 3 phases last week. We'll see if they can keep it rolling versus a very good Ruston team. I'm interested to see how that defense tries to scheme it against Hudson because if they have nothing else working in the playbook, they can split out number 6 and they can throw it to him. And I mean, he's a nightmare matchup. And hopefully we see him in purple and gold down there playing for the Tigers.
Well, let's move to Division III non-select. A lot of good teams up there in the Northeast Louisiana area. Sterlington, is it pretty much they're the favorite to repeat this year?
Sterlington is a lot. I don't want to say I feel sorry for the people in that because I think Gina's in there, and I don't feel sorry for Gina because I think Gina's loaded this year, and I'm pulling for them. But Sterlington's further along now than they were when they won a state title at this point last year, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They were further along 2 weeks ago than the guys. You look at their 2 losses. That's in this District 2 5A we just talked about. So with Ouachita and with Neville and had a chance, we're driving to either tie the ball game up or win it in both games in the fourth quarter, right around 2 minutes. So that tells you how good they are. And, of course, they came up short on both, but they were still in the game. And we just mentioned how that District 2 5A is as good as any district in the state, comparable to the Catholic League down in New Orleans. So, they are. They got to be the favorite. Now, you worry about complacency setting in, with some of the things that they've got, some of the teams they've got to play, but they are no doubt the favorites. And, the Breen kid runs that offense the right way, and he's been in it. His dad's there, the offensive coordinator. And, they're scary for anybody in that bracket, but they're far along. They're more prepared now than they were at this time last year, and they won a state championship last year.
What about Union Parish? Of course, they always play the 5A teams early on, and they always struggle against them, but good competition and kind of seems to help them as the season goes along. But they got Calvary this Friday night. Talk about Union Parish.
We'll find out a lot about them come Friday night. They're young. Just about a 4 will be the first one to tell you they're young, and they're playing a lot of kids for the first time, and you saw that with an Ash blowout, and they went and played an airline. Didn't go well for them, but they just keep plugging along. They started out, I think, 0-3, and now they were 3-3 when I looked up. But you'll see how much they've grown. I got to see this Calvary team in person, and of course, in Bill Ruppel Stadium at Neville, and they got some good-looking dudes getting off the bus. But they can do that over there. So we'll see what Union brings. But, man, I'm to the point, regardless of what Union does in the regular season, it's week 11 when they start playing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like they flip a switch, man. They could almost go one win in district and then play for a state championship.
Is Oak Grove rebuilding or reloading?
Well, I think when you build a program like that, they're not building a team. They got a program down there, and I think they're reloading. Them and Mangum match up Friday night. They both lost their first game of the year and haven't lost since. So it's going to be, let me tell you, Mangum's got a dynamic freshman. Kenny Bell, who played wide receiver at Rayville, signed with Alabama when Saban was there, has come over. You can take it like you want as a wide receivers coach. His son followed him over, freshman phenom. I think it's Kenny Bell Jr. or something, but he came with him to Mangum. And I saw that kid make a couple plays in the Bayou Jam that really turned your head, and he's just gotten better. So both of them will be interesting to see where they end up. Of course, Mangum's got to make the trip to Oak Grove. It's a district matchup. That district is loaded. I mean, you saw Faraday and Mangum got in a shootout last weekend. You got OCS. Don't forget about those guys, but whoever making their schedule is absolutely terrible. I'm talking pre-district. I know you can only play the teams in your district, but it's going to get real. You're going to see how real they are coming up because they really hadn't played hardly anybody, and they still have Mangum, Faraday, and Oak Grove left to play in that district. So it'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, I just think Oak Grove, I mean, look at what they lost, guys. They lost a ton. I mean, you're talking about a team that won, I think, 3 state championships in a row before Jackson Bradley and those guys, got beat out last year, and they just had to replace a lot. But Ryan Gregory's done a heck of a job, and if you're Oak Grove, they're just going to Oak Grove. And I think they're leaning in the right direction. I want to see how Mangum comes out and plays against them up in West Carroll Friday night.
Well, David, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Some great insight, and really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, great job as always, David, and definitely appreciate you joining us tonight.
Man, you guys try to catch up. I do a high school football rewind show. Going to be a little bit earlier this week on Sports Talk 97.7. That's who I'm affiliated with. Largest all-sports station in Louisiana, 50,000 watts there coming out of Ruston. And we do a high school football rewind show on Saturday mornings. And going to be a little bit early this week because LSU plays at 11. But like I said, looking to get back into it. Definitely want to link up with you guys later and enjoy with you guys too. I catch myself on Wednesday nights tuning in. Any Facebook people, I tried to share you guys over our platforms wherever we have, and people can tune in. I don't know if they want to listen to me or look at me or what. I got a face made for the radio, so here we are. But anyway, I appreciate you guys having me again, and we'll link up in the future.
Sounds
and like
great.
I said, I'll pull up for the Giants every Friday night.
Sounds good. Thanks, David. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Visiting with him anytime we run into him somewhere, and he's just been around the game a long time and knows a lot about football.
Yeah, he's been around football, Northeast Louisiana, for a couple of decades at least. Since I was in high school. Of course, he don't want me telling that because it shows how old he is. But yeah, he does a terrific job always covering the sport and very knowledgeable about the game of football.
We'll take a break right here. Listen to the walkthrough on 1.7 KJNM.
Company salutes the young men and women who put in long hours in search for athletic supremacy. Justice Oil has been a long supporter of high school athletes in LaSalle Parish, as well as the Tigers of LSU. Take the time to show your appreciation by attending sporting events to root on your teams. Student athletes appreciate the time you take to attend their events. Wishing you the best in the future, on and off the field, from Justice Oil Company.
When you need an expert, you call one, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, or your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. There's one in every parish to help you protect what's important to you and your family, because protecting the people of Louisiana is what's important to us. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. Visit lafarmbureau.com to find a local agent and ask for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote. That's lafarmbureau.com. Make contact with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent today.
Hi, I'm Cliff Smith with CLB, the Community Bank. With 20 years of banking experience, I have seen many changes, but one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to help customers with all their financial needs. COB, the community bank, is here to help you, whether it's to open an account, online banking setup, credit card application, home mortgage, consumer, or commercial loan. If you're looking for personal service with real care, come by and see us at COB, the community bank, 2349 North 1st Street, Regina, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Looking for a place to connect and grow? Join us at Eastview Baptist Church, where everyone is welcome. Tune in here to listen to worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30, or come join us in person for Sunday school at 9:45 and worship at 10:45. Eastview, where we seek the kingdom first.
McPherson under center. Up the slant to Sharp, and it's caught complete for the touchdown. Yep. And making the catch.
Our final call of the week, Deuce McPherson to Adrian Sharp for the touchdown as time expired to give the Giants the lead at halftime over Marksville. And I'll admit they had me nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we was going to get in.
Yeah, watching Lavallee run the football for Marksville, especially in the first half, getting the first downs and everybody running up down the field, a shootout going on. And like I say, Marksville is a talented team. They're much improved.
I mean, I was nervous if we were going to get that in the end zone because the time kept ticking down.
Close. Yeah.
And I thought we're going to run out of time. And I think we had 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
Clock was stopped. 3 seconds. I think Marksville had a penalty. But it was the last play. It was 4th and goal. 3 seconds. You didn't know if we were going to run the ball, throw it. But the pass was right on the money. Adrian Sharp went up, boxed out the defender, made a great play. And that was big because the Giants got the ball started second half, too.
Oh, yeah. And looks like, we made some adjustments there in the second half. Marksville was not quite as explosive maybe in the second half. We didn't allow as many points there in the second. Gave up 8 points in the third quarter and only 8 points in the fourth quarter. So definitely got the job done, made the adjustments in the second half.
Well, there was only one defensive stop in the game between both teams, and
right.
Gina got it in the second half.
Yep.
So we'll get to our area games of the week for this week. Northwood Lena is at LaSalle, another district game for the Tigers. The Saul trying to go to 6-1 on the year.
LaSalle, a big win over Lakeview this past Friday night, 46-12. Tough Street, 13 carries, 94 yards rushing. Wyatt King, 6 carries, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wyatt King was the player of the week for LaSalle Tigers there. Still rolling.
Delhi is at St. Fred. It's another district game for St. Fred. St. Fred going to keep rolling after they played us. They keep getting wins, piling up wins. Then they got a win last week. You got it on there?
St. Fred, let's see. Let me see if I can find it here. There we go. 50-0 over Block.
Yeah.
Shutout of the Block. You would expect St. Fred to get that win at home against Delhi.
This was a big game years ago. It's kind of lost its luster with both teams being down the last couple of years, but I think it's a big game for both teams with new head coaches. Winfield at Manny, both teams with first-year head coaches. Coach Hassel at Manny, Coach Keller at Winfield. I think this is a big game for both teams because whoever can get that win kind of has some momentum going forward, moving things in the right direction. Hopefully, for our sake, it's Winfield.
Yeah, Winfield gets the win over Rose Pine, 49-28. I like Winfield in that game at Manny. I like Winfield to get the job done.
That's the Pick'em game now. You're giving your Pick'em game away. Pick'em. Mangum at Oak Grove at the Pick'em game as well. Menard at Avoyelles. I was looking before we went on the air. Menard was down 20-0 last week to Oakdale and came back to win 22-20. They are 5-1.
I think that was a Pick'em game last week, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah. We both picked Menard. Yeah. And then St. James at McDonough 35. St. James lost a close one to Shaw. St. James was runner-up to Sterlington last year. They are still in our division, and they're going to be tough in our division. But I've just kind of been watching their games. But they got McDonough 35. Down there, they play tough teams every week. West Washita at Tioga. Tioga started out 1-0 in district with a big win over – who did they play last week?
Played Wasman last week. I think that game was last Thursday night. Yeah. Tioga won that one 59-36. So Tioga, man, they continue rolling offensively, putting up large numbers each and every week. Got to go Tioga.
Bunkie is at Buckeye. Both teams start out district 1-0. Big game there for Buckeye. Can they get things rolling like they did in the first 3 weeks?
I don't know. Bunky's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Bunky gets the job done there.
Caldwell at Marksville. Marksville looking to bounce back after the tough loss to Gina.
Would expect Marksville to get the job done.
Sterlington at Northwestern.
All Sterlington.
Yeah, Sterlington beat Richwood last week. They're 1-0 in district. And you talked about Union Parish at Calvary earlier. That game is at Calvary.
Pick 'em game.
Yep. Erath at Berwick. That's a district game there. I'm expecting Erath in that one. Erath has just gotten off to a great start this year. Then the Red River Rivalry Sinlaw edition. Pineville at Ash. All Ash in that one.
Yeah, Ash is angry after the defeat to West Monroe this past Friday. They're going to roll in that one.
This is a pick'em game. Washita at West Monroe. And then Ruston at Neville. You heard David say the 100th matchup between the two teams. A lot of history between these two teams. Last year, Neville got them.
They did.
Yeah. But seems like it's always a surprise whoever wins. But both teams end up making long playoff runs. Just a great matchup. Peabody at Franklin Parish. Franklin Parish looking to go 2-0 in district. Church Point at Northwest. I put Church Point on here because they are not, their only loss has been to Marksville, and they are up in the top 10 of the power ratings in our division. So you can't forget about Church Point. They gave Marksville a good game, but they're going to be there where, they may be a team we see in the playoffs. Kinder at Oakdale. Kinder is a team as well that they're in that top 10 of the power ratings. That's a district game for Kinder. Look for Kinder to win that one there. Getting to our pick'em games, I am 19-11 on the year. You are 22-8. I think we picked all the same games last week. They went 4-1 last week.
That's right.
The West Monroe game got us. We picked Ash in that one. And I really feel like every week we're going to have 2-5-8 in these pick'em games.
That was such a great game, too. Ash receives the kickoff. West Monroe tied it up 31-31. Ash receives the kickoff, fumbles. West Monroe gets the ball, kicks the game-winning field goal, wins it 34-31.
I think we got some good games here this week. Mangum at Oak Grove. Was this the game? No, it was Winfield Manny you were talking about. I don't know. I was impressed with Mangum's offense.
Yeah, definitely.
But going on the road to Oak Grove, and we know Oak Grove is built kind of like we are. I'm going Oak Grove in that one.
After watching Mangum and the weapons they have, I got to go with Mangum there.
Well, I hope Mangum wins.
Yeah.
It would tell me a lot about ourselves. But so you got Mangum, I got Oak Grove.
Casey at quarterback and Bell at wide receiver. That's pretty good tandem there.
I'm going with Coach Gregory at Oak Grove. I feel like he coaches similar like we do.
Just don't feel like they're there yet.
Okay. Union Parish at Calvary. If this game was at Union Parish, I might think about it, but I got to go Calvary.
Yeah, got to go Calvary there.
Calvary's rolling, and they beat Union Parish last year in this game. Winfield at Manny. I go back and forth on this one because I don't know enough about Manny. I'm going to go Winfield because that's who I want to win. I hope Winfield gets the win there.
Yeah, I go with Winfield.
Ruston at Neville. I wasn't sure on this one because I'd heard that Ahmad Hudson had been injured, but I didn't know that he'd come back last week. But hearing David talk about Neville played their best game, I think I'm going to go with Neville based off what he said.
Starting to put it together a little bit. Had some struggles special teams wise early on in the season, had some injuries, the offensive line up front. I think they're starting to get all their guys back healthy again. Of course, injuries on the offensive line, that can be difficult, in the stretch of a season, not having you guys gel together, playing together each and every week. So I think they're getting back healthy. So playing at Bill Ruppel Stadium, the ghost of Bill Ruppel. Got to go with the Neville Tigers.
If there's anybody that knows about Neville, it's David Robinson.
Yep.
And he said they played their best game last week. They got things rolling. I'm going Neville there. Washita at West Monroe. I think people are kind of wanting to be like, they think everybody's going to have, and I think everybody is going to end up having a loss in this district, but I just think West Monroe has been locked in at home with Catholic getting that win and with Ash. I got to go West Monroe. If this game was at Washita, I'll pick Washita. But I'm a big believer in high school of if you got it at home, you got an advantage. And I think West Monroe with Davis at receiver, they're playing well right now. And I go on West Monroe.
I think they're playing with a lot of toughness now.
Yeah.
And I got to go with West Monroe at home.
So we picked every game the same except Mangum Oak Grove?
Yeah, that's the only one.
All right. So that'll be the game to watch.
Yep.
But I want to remind everybody on Friday, I think the pep rally is at 11:30, I believe.
Right.
Or you can enter the gym.
Enter the gym at 11.
The parade's at 12:30. Game is at 7 o'clock.
They got the presentation of the court before the game at 6:30.
6:30. If you cannot make it to the game, you can hear it all right here on 102.7. Starting with Cajun Seafood and Special Meats, Gina Giants pregame at 6 o'clock. Go buy your tickets online. It's cheaper to buy them online, and it's easier to get in. You don't have to worry about waiting in line. So buy your tickets online to get to the game.
How about walkthrough Warrior of the Week? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah, we can. Last week, our walkthrough Warrior of the Week was Carter Nichols. That was something that really we were approached by from CLB, the community bank. They kind of asked, did we want to get something together for a player of the week? And we really kind of felt like everybody has a player of the week. So what was the point of doing just a game player of the week? Because everybody has that, So we kind of thought maybe do somebody that's been working really hard in practice at games and different things, and just kind of a warrior, at all times they're you can count on them to get the job done. They're getting the job done in practice and everything. So we wanted to make it called the Walkthrough Warrior of the Week, and we consult with the coaches. And really appreciate CLB for sponsoring the shirts. But Pools Pit Stop, the winner of that gets a shirt that says they're the Walkthrough Warrior, and then they get a free combo meal from Pools Pit Stop. Really appreciate Pools Pit Stop for doing that as well. But we plan on doing this throughout the season. So we're going to have it. It'll be announced tomorrow who the winner is. We're going to try to do it each Thursday, and it'll be presented on Thursday after practice, and it'll be posted on social media later that night. So anything else I'm missing on that?
No, yeah, it's always great to reward that guy who's putting in the effort and the hard work, giving 110% during practice. And the guys that put in the hard work in practice, that only makes just everybody better on a Friday night.
Yeah, we kind of felt like it opens it up. More people have a chance to win that because you have scout guys that if they are given 100%, it makes the first guys do so much better. And they're a reason the team's doing good on Friday nights. And you want to reward those guys that are putting forth that effort. And so that's kind of why we went that route of going, big emphasis on what they're doing during the week more so than just on Friday nights.
Yeah, I mean, because showing up on time, showing up to the workouts, showing up every day when you're supposed to, and like I say, just giving the 100%. And we want to reward them guys for doing that, putting in the effort.
So be looking for that on Thursday evenings. We'll have that posted Thursday nights. We'll have our walkthrough Warrior of the Week. So really appreciate Jesse Love and Sam Cook for coming by. Appreciate Coach Roart for joining us tonight, and also David Robinson. It's been another great show. Week 7, it always flies by. I mean, it's hard for me to believe. We've talked about week 8 all summer.
Yeah,
it's next week.
It is. It's
big
crazy.
one.
Crazy to think it's here already.
Yep. So, looking forward to homecoming. I always enjoy homecoming. You get the parade and everything. The weather's been awesome. It's going to be awesome Friday. Great time to have it. Right here in October, fall hitting. So should be good time. Everybody coming in and getting to see all the old classes and reminiscing with everybody, and should be a good game Friday night. So for Brant King, I'm Austin Watley. You've been listening to the Walkthrough 1.7 KJNA. Good night, everybody.